So, hi everybody again, and today's blog post or podcast, or if you're watching it live on Facebook, it's about Batman. and It's interesting. I used to be a fan of Batman when I was a kid. I love Batman, but recently I've learned a little bit more about Batman and it's his background, and so today's post is about Batman. And it's like, I had a friend that they were right beside me. Where I went, they went. I couldn't shake them off. And neither would I want to. They saw both my very private moments of despair and the times of victorious success. He was my Batman. And he carried my bat well. Long before Batman made his appearance as a comic book caped crusader, some men had a role in military life as being a Batman for a senior officer, and they were essentially a servant to an officer in the army. The term was derived from the obsolete word bat, which means packsaddle, like on a horse. And the Batman was in charge of the officer's bat horse, which would carry the officer's kit during a campaign. And a Batman's duties often included acting as a runner to convey orders and communications to subordinates, maintaining the officer's uniform and personal equipment as a valet, and driving the officer's vehicle, sometimes under combat conditions, acting as the officer's bodyguard in combat, digging the officer's foxhole in combat, giving the officer time to direct his unit, and other little tasks that the officer did not have the time or the inclination to do. Now, not many probably know the name Sam Hodges, but he was a Batman to J.R.R. Tolkien at the Battle of the Somme in World War One. And this place of hellish death and evil was the context out of which Tolkien wrote The Lord of the Rings. And Tolkien, I believe, honours his Batman by naming one of the principal characters in the story after him. In the epic story, there was a small, furry little hobbit called Frodo, and he's on the mission, of course, to get rid of this ring, this powerful magic ring. And alongside him walks an equally little man named Samwise Gamgee, a Batman to his friend. And so typical was the loyal response to of a Batman to his officer, is that of Sam to Frodo, and it's right near the end of the final movie, the Return of the King, and Sam says to Frodo, "Come, Mr. Frodo." Sorry, I can't help myself. "Come, Mr. Frodo," he cried. "I can't carry it," which is the ring, for you, but I can carry you. And such was the loyalty of Sam to Frodo. But when we look into the Bible, there's biblical heroes of men and women like you and me, and we find Batman. Jonathan was Batman to David, essentially. He and David also had incredibly mighty men that would go way beyond the call of duty to serve their leader. Naomi had a daughter-in-law, Ruth, who declared her loyalty and says this: "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried." Now that's loyalty, eh? Jesus had Mary and other women that followed him that could see something incredible and special about Jesus in a different way to the men did. Mary therefore took a pound of expensive ointment made from pure nard and anointed the feet of Jesus and wiped his feet with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume, and didn't it upset a lot of guys? There's something special about the truest of Batmen and Batwomen. They see something beyond the immediate struggle, and when the one they are serving loses heart, they sort of come alongside and fill up the encouragement tank. They know that their role is subservient to some sort of higher calling, that there is a mission, and their part players backstage. In real life, I've been Batman to many people. I haven't done any actual foxholes, but I have provided places for people to come and find shelter from the storms and battles of life. It takes vision. It takes the vision of seeing in someone else the battles and challenges they are facing, and that takes real deep listening, and then coming alongside and pouring encouragement into the soul. For a man, it might well be noticing the remembered movements he is making in his world. He's on a quest, and he stumbles, he falls. You pick him up and tell him to keep going. For a woman, it might well be noticing the beauty that is contained within her, and there is an invite there to know something of that divine beauty. She gets hurt, used, and wants to hide, but you confirm the beauty and help her to reveal it once more. Have we lost Batman? In the foolishness of self-individualism, where it's all about me and less about we, perhaps we have lost the awareness of Batman and Batwoman. The faithful Sam Gamgee, the loyalty of Ruth, and the self-sacrifice of Mary. Theodore Roosevelt wrote that famous piece, The Man in the Marina, and I'll read a bit here. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. And I'm going to say that for every man or woman in the arena, there has to be a Batman or a Batwoman in his corner. Someone who'll wipe away the dust and sweat and blood. Someone who will give him water and a warm, encouraging pat on the back. It's time to acknowledge and endorse the role of Batman and Batwoman, and rid Gotham City of despair. Some quotes to finish. Real encouragement occurs when words are spoken from a heart of love to another's recognised fear. Larry Crabb. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Just walk beside me and be my friend. Albert Camus. When we honestly ask ourselves which person in our lives mean the most to us, we often find that it is those who, instead of giving advice, solutions or cures, have chosen rather to share our pain and touch our wounds with a warm and tender heart. Henri Nouwen. Encouragement has its root in the Latin word cor, which literally means heart. I love this quote. So does the word courage. To have courage means to have heart. To encourage, to provide with or give courage, literally means to give others heart. Jim Kouzes and Barry Posner. Questions to answer. What are the qualities of a good Batman? Number 2. What other examples can you think of people in the background who have been Batman? And number 3, how do we encourage those who seem to be like Batman? Hey, I hope you enjoyed this live video and podcast. I do hope you found it helpful. And if you're a Batman, good on you. I'm really pleased. And if you need a Batman, I'm praying for you that you may find one. But it's really important to actually be a Batman for someone else. And see them struggle and tell them that it's okay and you can get up and keep going. Hey, thanks for listening and watching. If you want to support Turning the Page, really good. It'll be really helpful. You just go over to turningthepage.com/support and you'll find lots and lots of options where you can be part of the team here, which is me. And you can be a Batman to me. Hey, thanks very much, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.